Hello everybody and welcome back to Animal Crossing New Leaf. I want to make sure today's not Dina's birthday. I don't remember. 27th. Tomorrow, right. I thought it was tomorrow, I just wanted to make sure. Got a letter from Bala. To tell the truth, Steven, do you ever think about the past? I also think about the old days more and more lately. Seen some wild times, and no mistake. Is it time to slow down? From nostalgic Paula. Nah, never slow down. Slowing down's for nerd. Which I'm about to be a massive nerd all of today. Hello, Penelope! Hey, guess what I got in my pockets right now? It's a hi-fi stereo. Jason, how about, let's see, your birdwing butterfly? Yeah, sure. It's a bad trade for me, but it's a good trade for Penelope, so that's good enough for me. Take good care of it. We'll trade again some other time, Parmesan. Okay, so the Steam Machine is officially released. Kind of. It's in pre-orders. Reviews for it have been released, at least. And we know now basically what its performance is going to be like. And it's not good. It's not good at all. Especially given its price. Now, you know, I am on Canadian dollars, but it's like $1,500 for the base model Steam Machine. It's actually $1,509 for the base model Steam Machine. Now, the reason that matters is that they're not the only kids on the block when it comes to mini PCs. And I'm gonna be honest, he can't even. It's round. That looks like a discus, instead of a UFO. Give me this man. So I think Nintendo took his butt. I didn't even need the guide. But yeah, like, I will fully admit that the other mini PCs are definitely not as powerful as the Steam Machine. But they only really look bad when you compare percentage as opposed to real-world frame rate. There are many mini PCs that, at least on spec, I don't know if they would actually perform this well, but at least on spec, perform about 30 to 40% worse than the Steam Machine. The problem is when you're dealing with such small numbers to begin with, 30 to 40% sounds like a lot. It's like 10, 15 FPS. No matter which you're using, you're not running games at max settings, which is where a lot of reviewers test at. Like, medium settings, I can't think of the names of any of these CPUs at the moment. Hold on, I got this. I got this good. I'll talk with Poppy. Going to my home, Steven. I was just sitting down to write a poem about a fitted sheet. Alright. It's pretty neat. What can I do for you? Let's chat. I'm never bored hearing an article, especially when nothing special is going on. Spend my time researching all the bugs, fish, fossils in town. There's all kinds of things to see and do. I'm glad. So if I pop on here and then I just simply let's just set it to a terabyte of hard drive space. So right there, Ryzen 7 8745HS with 1 terabyte of storage space, 16 gigabytes of RAM. So that's the same RAM as the Steam Machine, with a CPU that is better. The only reason the Steam Machine outperforms this thing is the Steam Machine has an actual graphics chip. This does not. Based on some benchmarks I have found, the Steam Machine only outperforms this by around 10 to 11 FPS. Now in percentages, that's a big percent difference. That's because the Steam Machine itself doesn't perform very well. This isn't like, you know, something being 50% as good as the RTX 5090 or something. No, this is like 50% of already bad performance. You know, they're both bad. Hey, Buckle, whether like this makes me want to work my god, what you'll need. Let's chat. My secret dream is to own my own Sapphire. And you've got exactly the kind I'm looking for. I'm begging you, sell me my dream. Name price. You feel about 2,000. Yeah, I can do that. This mini PC, 2,400, is $755. So in other words, less than half the price of the Steam Machine. Okay, woohoo, hello, how's your afternoon? We want to talk about bad PC pricing. Hey, what do you think of my own look today? It's cute. Cute, really? Yay, that's what I was going for. But, like, the thing that really bothers me is that Valve has no real excuse. I stopped and figured this out a little while back. Oh yes, this perfect weather's handy for you. Let's talk. Sometimes when I'm alone in my house, I get kind of creeped out. You're free right now? It'd be great if you could come over and keep me company. Sure, I can do that. Hey, let's go right now. Because the Steam Machine comes pre-installed with SteamOS, Valve's operating system, which heavily pushes Steam in your face. Not the hot stuff, but their gaming service. Basically the de facto only gaming service on PC. But, you know, this more heavily pushes it. You don't even have the option to use Microsoft Store. You don't even have that option. And a lot of stuff on GOG may or may not work. You might have to do a lot of fiddling to make it work. So if at home, I will. Now pop a squat here. So, I stopped and calculated. At an average game value of $30 for my entire Steam library, this is $30 Canadian, Valve has made off of me somewhere close to, I think it was like $7,000 off of the games I've bought on Steam over the years. Do you see where I'm going with this? Valve could be selling the Steam Machine for that $800 price tag of that other micro PC, and they wouldn't be at any risk of losing money. Honestly, at 200, at 256 gigs of storage, they should probably be selling it for cheaper. And one of the issues is like, it just, like, I wouldn't be anywhere near as hard on the thing if it just included their controller from base. Because it's meant to be a console replacement. I may as well talk with Dina. I feel like I'm being a bad guest. It's nothing fancy, but I hope you enjoy your visit. I will! And every console ever comes with a controller. The Steam Machine doesn't. And I've heard the argument. Very sweet thing inside my house. It's a lovely... It makes me so happy. Like something in particular makes her give it to you. Can I buy this shirt? Like my good fortune calls, huh? You can make a deal for me at 39 bells. You can take it home. Sure. We'll do that. Please take good care of it. I'm counting on you. Yeah, let's put it on right now. Bam. Good fortune. Because, like, I've heard the argument from some people where they're like, oh, but I don't want the Steam controller. It's like, well, good, then you don't need to use it. But it should still come with the Steam machine. Given the Steam controller can, from what I understand, operate the Steam machine completely. You don't need any other peripheral. So, you know, it's so embarrassing for me knowing you're inspecting everything in my room. I'm not, I'm just kind of standing here yapping. Got some fish. It's not much, but it's home. Try to do little things here and there to make it comfortable. I mean, it looks pretty cozy to me. To lose track of time when I use my hand and stare to listen to Mr. KK. It's a big problem if I'm cooking. I can't tell you how many things I burn because of it. Aww. It's not too cluttered. I should have tidied up before having company over. It's fine. My house is worse. Don't worry. Okay. Well, I'll head out. Wait, can I head home? Can you give me your honest opinion of my place? I think it's great. Really think so? It's actually, you could use a lot of improvements. I'm happy to hear you say that. Now you've motivated me to work extra hard to make sure this place is wonderful. Come by again sometime. It's so much fun. Yay! And like, I've looked into micro PCs / mini PCs a lot. Because, I'll be honest, I wouldn't mind having one that I could have hooked up permanently to my TV that I use for gaming and stuff. That way, if I ever wanted to just lay in bed and do things from, play some PC games, I could pretty easily. I currently have my laptop set up in a way that I can do that, but honestly, my laptop is not very good. Even the cheapest mini PCs are probably on par or better with my laptop. My laptop's kind of old at this point, and it wasn't a high-end laptop when I bought it. It was just simply what I could afford, and it also was at the time, slightly better than the desktop that I had just had die. Like, my old desktop had died, and I was looking for a replacement for it. And I decided, you know what, I want a laptop. Like, that was the entire thought process. So, I should have just got a new desktop when that one died. It would have been a much better use of my funds, but when have I ever spent money rationally? A lot of the time, honestly. I'm really bad at spending money. Though I say that, it's taken me over a month to spend not even half of my birthday money, so... Ooh. Maple! It's alright, beside the camp here, you have a lovely town. I might come back and get Maple. I might do it off camera, though, because it can be a real time sink. And I'm already going to be yapping a lot, so... yeah. But, like... I have looked into them a lot. Which is how I knew right away, seeing the price of the Steam machine, that was too much. Like... honestly, if I were to get a mini PC, as much as I hate Intel, I'd probably lean Intel. Just simply because they have currently the better CPUs for that application. And there's some of those that have 32 gigabytes of RAM, which is a lot. And then also the 1 terabyte of storage, and And another thing to consider is these are all running Windows, not Linux. That does make a difference. Also, I'm a little gassy because I just finished eating. Oh boy, gems! Like, Linux is not compatible with everything. It's just not. There is a lot of things that the average person will sit down to try to do that they just simply won't be able to on the Steam machine. because it's running Linux. And in my opinion, that's a problem. Which is why I personally can't get behind maining Linux as my operating system. I just can't do it. Too much of the things I play on a regular basis simply will not work properly through Proton, through SteamOS. Pinky! Hey girl! So what you choose from? I'm sure I'll find something today. I'm sure you will too. And sell these gems. I kind of forgot that I already had a gyroid. Sure. Well, 2 gyroids, really. If those gyroids hadn't been there, I would have been able to pick up all the gems. I still would have had to have come and sold things, but I wouldn't have needed to take 3 trips to retail today. So I'm probably going to need to take 3 trips to retail today. Maybe. There's only 2 fossils left to find, but I think it's 3 gyroids. And we only have 2. So... Wait, only 1 more fossil to find. Okay, so... maybe I won't need to take 3 trips to retail. And like, I wanted the Steam Machine to be good. Honestly, I'm curious to see how viable it is to swap the operating system. Because if you can put Windows 11 onto the Steam Machine, I kind of want to know what the performance then becomes. Because I know people go on and on and on about how much better everything works on Linux, and in my experience, it's really hit or miss. Now, I don't have a apples-to-apples comparison. Like, I don't have 2 identical laptops, one running Linux, one running Windows, and I'm sure as heck not putting Linux on my desktop, or even dual booting into it and potentially breaking everything just to test. Oh boy, there were 4 gyroids. Why were there 4 gyroids? Have I missed one for that long? Oh no. Well, I don't know where that final fossil is anyway, so it's fine. It's fine. It's not fine. It's never fine. Vic, did you hear that? It's never fine. Yo, Steven, fishing time. I came by because I was missing Oracle. Isn't that just like me? It's also like you to give me a bad nickname that catches on for some reason. It's seeing you here, Steven. So glad I ran into you. Glad I ran into you too, and Lisa. I honestly do feel Valve could have taken the loss on the Steam Machine and made that money back in game sales. Especially given the price of modern games. Wrong option. Because keep in mind, Valve takes a 30% cut. They aren't exactly struggling in the financial department. If someone buys an $80 game, they get 30% of that, which is $24 of that $80 game going to Valve. Like, they could pretty quickly and easily recoup the cost of just selling the Steam Machine for less, and then they might have actually proven there's a market for this. Now, I say this acknowledging and knowing that apparently Steam Machines in Japan have sold out. Wow, you're telling me a small computer being sold by a big company sells out in a country that buys up every small computer or game console? Can't believe that. Like, yeah, that's... regardless of value, the value to specifically the Japanese housing size is enough to make the Steam Machine a good purchase for them. You know, it does come down to the context of the space you're working with. I mean, that's why, like, a lot of Like, a lot of Japanese companies that make things make them small. The Japanese home does not have a huge amount of space for a large computer setup. So if they can get a computer the size of, you know, probably in physical size, the size of like a Switch and a Switch 2 together. Like, that's still not the most ideal, but it's a lot better. And the fact that Valve has slapped their name on it does help. But also consider how much supply actually was that. And do they have a backlog? Or have they sold exactly as many as they had with no backlog for more orders? Like, we're not gonna know this level of detail until a while from now. So, you know, if they only allocated, let's say, 500 units, that's not actually a huge demand if they have no backlog. Aye, do that, be Steven. You be here for some bean brew. Don't just stand there, though. Why don't you take a seat here? I already have my bean brew, that's why. So, like, it's just very much the case where I personally feel the Steam Machine is bad value. Valve is selling it greatly overpriced, and it's going to flop. Again, this is not the first time a Steam Machine has existed. And the last time it flopped too. Because it was too expensive, not upgradable, and not enough people wanted it. There's Steven, the man wants to go today and do some shopping. Get kept the same things, remember not to spend all your bells in one place. I couldn't even if I wanted to. Well, I could upgrade my house, but then I wouldn't be spending those bells until tomorrow, so that doesn't really count. Nothing here I think Dina would like. Like, one of these days I'm going to end up picking up a mini PC as well, but I can basically guarantee you it's not going to be the Steam Machine, not unless prices come down. And that's just the sad reality of it. I might have been interested in one, but... Steven, glad to see you're doing so well. Yeah, kinda... I just felt like taking a trip to Oracle. Hey, Barbara. Puff! What does this mean you here, Fluff? What do you want? What's the latest? When choosing an outfit, remember that certain styles can make you look fit and trim, and there are others that aren't nearly as flattering. You've got to find something that works for you. Yeah, not what I wear. That's one chat. And be shopping for today. If you can do some clothes shopping, just let me know. Like, you really want to wear things that are actually fitting. And, you know, not... Probably not button-ups. Button-up shirts have this tendency to always look a bit bigger than they actually... than you know, the person is. Like, this shirt, I mean, it's a size too big for me anyway, but it's, you know, there's a lot of extra shirt here because of the nature of button-ups, especially if you're not tucking them in. It's like tucking them into your pants, which I don't tend to do because I'm very lazy. Me and this cop would get along pretty well. We're both pretty lazy. Look at him. There's some shirts. I'll clear out the lost and found at some point. But yeah, like, does kind of just annoy me because I wanted the Steam Machine to be good. And I'm gonna say, if you want something similar to the Steam Machine, look into mini PCs. Again, raw performance, percentage-wise, you're gonna be a decent percentage worse than a Steam Machine. But in real-world performance differences, it's not gonna be enough to really matter. Like, you know, I already can't remember the name of the freaking thing. The Ryzen 7 8745HS, thank you AMD for your comprehensive names, is probably good enough to play every modern game. Maybe not at max settings, a lot of them you'll probably have to lower the settings, maybe even play at like 720p. But you can probably play every modern game on that CPU. So like, right there, you've got a much better deal. And again, the Steam Machine would play those games better, but it also costs a crapload more. Like, the Steam Machine costs so much that I can almost assure you, buying used and building it myself, I could almost certainly build a better PC to just set under that TV than the Steam Machine, and probably have money left over. Now, that's a very apples to bananas kind of comparison, where, you know, the used market is different everywhere. You can't reliably go off of the used market for making big purchase decisions unless you're going off your own local used market. Like, you kind of have to know what the prices are like for you to make that kind of decision. I know for me that I could hop on Facebook Marketplace right now, get a bare bones gaming PC, because I saw it on there a while back, that was lacking a graphics card, but had a decent enough CPU. Like, I think it had it was a 5700X, which is an AM4 CPU, but it's fine. It's better than the CPU in the Steam Machine. And this was like, I think it was like $350. And then I could also pick up a GTX 1080 Ti for an extra $200, slap it in the thing, assuming the power supply allows for it, which it probably would. I don't see why it wouldn't. It's not really using power anywhere else. And bam. I now have a PC that's cheaper than the Steam Machine by a considerable amount. And I don't have to pay tax on that, which makes it even cheaper, because I'm just buying through Marketplace. I'm just meeting up with someone and handing them some cash and trusting. Maybe to talk with Margie. I can't not talk with her. You seem chipper as always. How can I help you? Let's talk. Don't tell how much the gossip here is true, isn't it? Before you go repeating a rumor, it's best to look into it yourself. That it is. Yep, got some fleas going on. Who has the fleas? Oh, it's Cookie who has the fleas. Bucko, talk to me, baby. No, this is kind of sudden, but be brutally honest. What do you think of my catchphrase? I'm thinking Wee Wee has run its course, so hey, maybe think of a new one. Nah, you're good. I can't think of a catchphrase at the moment. Sometimes it's good to leave things alone, but someday change will be in the wind, Wee Wee. Give me that flea, girl. That was a big flea. Ew, did you just find a flea on me? Yuck, yuck, yuck. I swear I bathe all the time. Maybe the iced coffee bubble bath was a bad idea. Nah, I blame Costello. He probably put the flea on you. like, that also just comes down to just having knowledge around PC components, but I'm gonna make the bold claim, and maybe some of you guys watching can, put me in my place on this claim. Most people who are interested in the Steam Machine are probably dorks. They probably at least know how to search the internet for things. And would probably figure out that they could build a better PC. It won't be the same form factor, no, but that's the thing. You're not going to get great performance out of a tiny form factor. Like, you're just not going to do it, not without completely proprietary parts. Voice crack! Oh, there's the fossil. And those proprietary parts, you need to order in enough bulk to actually make them cheap. Or take a loss on them. Sony does. Microsoft surely does. Like, now I say this knowing full well that the the Xbox is basically dead. They are not happy with the Xbox sales and are basically killing it off from what I've heard. But, part of that is almost certainly they're not selling enough games past the machine to make back the loss they're taking selling you the machine. I think the only company that's probably not taking a loss to sell you their game console is Nintendo. And that's just because Nintendo is also offering basically the cheapest freaking game console. That's also a TV. Like, the Switch 2 is really cool. But also, having that screen built into it definitely added to the cost. But also meant that it's a handheld. Which gives it a lot of extra value. Like, quite honestly, I remember mentioning this back when the Steam Deck launched. Like, I simply couldn't imagine buying one because the Switch exists. And I'd rather just buy a Switch. That is just a me thing. Other people's mileage undoubtedly varied. But as far as I'm concerned, the Switch is a better thing. It's a better experience. It's a better console than the Steam Deck. Now, like, Steam Deck exists, it's sold okay. It is currently the most popular version of Linux being used to play games on Steam. Like, I do have to give it that. But, like, it's still not amazing. And these days it's even worse, because it's running very, very dated hardware. Like, honestly, I could set up a PC to hook up to my TV. Like, I've got the spare tower. I could do it. It wouldn't even be all that much work. I've got a spare tower, I've got a spare hard drive. That hard drive has almost no maximum storage capacity, but it wouldn't really matter if I'm just playing basic things. I just don't want another whole computer plugged in. I would rather a mini PC because they use so little power. Like, that's the appeal to me. And I imagine the Steam Machine could have been better had Valve not power limited it as much as they did. But they put a large amount of power limiting on that thing. And I'm gonna guess I've got, I'm gonna say 3,000 bells here. Probably another 1,500 here. I'm gonna say 4,600 bells. 5,400. Ah. I was less than 1,000 off. but that was still pretty far. But yeah, I think that's enough rambling about the Steam Machine for me. I have a lot of stuff I need to get done tonight, so tonight. I always say tonight because that's more accurate to the people I live with, but it's today for me. And I should really get into the habit of just saying today, but then I'll end up saying tonight to people I live with, and they'll think I mean like late into the night when I actually mean at the exact moment I'm talking. It's complicated being on a different clock to everyone you live with. I will say it is really nice being the only one awake. It's very peaceful. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. I hope I wasn't too boring rambling about the Steam Machine all day and how it kind of compares up with mini PCs. Honestly, a half-hour ramble is kind of not long enough to go into full detail about how bad of a value the Steam Machine is. And if you still want to buy a Steam Machine, don't let me stop you. Buy it, enjoy it. You're going to probably enjoy it. But I just want people to kind of be aware that there are other options. Valve is not the only kid on the block. I mean, I'm actually gonna stop for 1 second here. See if I can see the company name. Miniswarm. Miniswarm is one that has been releasing these small PCs for a very long time. Like, jeez, this is one that's the size of a graphics card. It's not a Miniswarm, but like Miniswarm, last I knew anyway, is pretty trusted. So like, and they sell some options that quite literally are provide your own RAM and solid state drive, and you can get them pretty cheap. It's kind of nice, honestly. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. I thank you all very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you back here tomorrow for more Animal Crossing New Leaf. See you all then.